Well, what's up, future millionaires? It's Mike the Investor. And if you are investing in crypto today, or maybe you just heard about cryptocurrency, this is not a coincidence. This is by design because of the actions I made and you made in the past that's brought us here. This is a chance in a lifetime to really leverage our financial status. So don't let this opportunity pass you without getting your share for you and your family. And so, as the thumbnail says, we are early, believe it or not, let me show you. And what I mean by that is I'm going to go over two lists that's really going to identify how much money has already been invested into the crypto space. The first list we're going to dive into is a list of 10 blockchain companies who have raised about 3.9 billion just this year alone. And then the second list we're going to dive into is a list of 13 banks who have invested the most amount of money into the crypto space this year alone. And this is going to blow your mind. So you definitely want to watch this one all the way through. And this is what I call following the money. So before we dive into it, definitely take advantage of grabbing some free Bitcoin by using the Voyager and BlockFi link down below, where you can earn passive income just for holding your cryptocurrencies on those platforms. But enough talking, let's jump into it. Alright, crypto investors, welcome back to the channel. Now, there are timestamps down below, of course, if you do want to look at some specific parts in this video. But let's go ahead and dive into the first list of the 10 blockchain companies who have raised about $3.9 billion just this year alone. And this is what I mean by we are early. We have so much money that is coming into this space. And when you look at everything that's going to be tokenized, when we look at how big the stock market is compared to the crypto market, we can understand how early we truly are. This is the best performing asset class in the past 10 to 12 years, and we are just getting started. And so let's go ahead and look at this list here briefly. So this article is coming from Forbes, and we can see the date on this was August 11th, 2021. So just a couple months ago, and 10 giant crypto and blockchain rounds single-handedly raised 3.9 billion this year, and this year isn't over. And so as we move on down, I'm not going to read all of the details, but I will tell you the company name. And one thing I want you to keep in mind is the notable investors of each one of these companies, because this can really tell you where money is going and who's investing in what, because some of these have invested in more than one of these companies, and this can kind of let you know correlation of different connections. And so first and foremost, which is the most, starting with the highest to the least amount of money raised, will be FTX at $900 million, almost $1 billion. The deal date was July 20th, 2021. And just to name a couple notable investors, you got Coinbase Ventures, SoftBank, and you have Circle. And so as we move on down, we have Circle themselves at $440 million. Here's the deal date, May 28th, 2021. And you can see we got the Digital Currency Group, which is the parent company of Grayscale, largest digital asset manager in the world currently. And we have FTX. And then also, of course, we can't forget about Fidelity Management and Research Company. And so let's move on down. Now we have Bitmain at $422 million. Deal date August 7th, 2018. So as we continue to move down, we can see the next company on the list is going to be Ledger at $380 million. Deal date was June 10th, 2021. And if we look at just some of the notable investors, 10T Holdings, and then also we have DCG, which is the Digital Currency Group, again, parent company of Grayscale. Then we have BlockFi, no stranger to the crypto space. We can see March 11th, 2021, they raised $350 million. And if you look at some of the notable investors, you have Bain Capital Ventures, you have Pomp Investments, Tiger Global as well. And so as we move on down, you have Solana Labs at $314 million, June 9th, 2021. And as you look at some of the notable investors, you got Polychain Capital, CMS Holdings, and Blockchain Ventures. As we move on down, we got Fireblocks, $310 million, July 27, 2021. A couple notable investors here. Got Spark Capital. As we move on down, you have Draper Labs at $305 million. deal date March 30th, 2021. And check this out real quick about Draper Labs. Look at some of the notable investors. You got Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant. That's pretty impressive. And so as we move down, you have Bullish at 300 million, deal date May 11, 2021. And here's some of the notable investors. Now moving on down to the bottom of the list, we have Paxos here at 300 million. April 29th, 2021 is the deal date. You can see some of the notable ventures. You got PayPal Ventures here, Liberty City, and Bank of America, huge players in the game. As we move down, you have blockchain.com at 300 million, deal date March 24th, 2021. You got some of the notable investors here at Lightspeed Venture Partners. And then you have DST Global. And as we move down to the last company on the list, which is Backit, 300 million, and we can see the deal date March 16, 2020. And so one thing to keep in mind, you can see that notable investors, Intercontinental Exchange, known as ICE. So definitely, I'm sure you heard of ICE. Huge player in the finance industry. And so the deal date on this says March 16, 2020. And if we move all the way back up to the top here, one company said back in 2018 was the actual deal date. And from my understanding, what I'm thinking is that's when the actual deal was done. As you can see, Bitmain, 422 million. Deal date was August 7, 2018. So from my understanding, what I'm thinking is that's when the deal was actually done and structured, but they were still raising money in 2021. And this is why they were on that list of 10 companies. All right. So I just wanted to kind of make that clear off of the two companies that had dates outside of 2021. And so that is the list of the top 10 companies who raised the most amount of money this year so far in 2021, totaling 3.9 billion at the time of that article, which was August 11th of the date. And so one thing that's very important is when we look at this, when people say, man, crypto's not the future, just wait till we see the bank list. If crypto isn't the future, just think about it. Why is all this money being raised and put into the crypto space? Just ask yourself that simple question and just wait until you see this bank list. You know what? Let's go ahead and jump right into it right now. And so this article says these 13 banks have invested the most in crypto and blockchain to date. And if we look at the date here, August 15, 2021, which is actually 4 days after the article we just took a look at. So as we move down, I'm not going to read all of the information on each one of these banks, but you are going to see the key details. But before we look at that, check out this highlighted part. Block data found that 55% of the world's 100 biggest banks by asset under management are investing directly or indirectly in companies and projects related to digital currencies and blockchain. As you can see from the list I just showed you, we had Fidelity, we had Digital Currency Group, we had all these different venture capital firms and asset manager firms that was investing in these companies indirectly. So that's why I wanted to show you that list first. But now check out this massive bank list. The first one here is Standard Chartered, 380 million and 6 investments. We got BNY Mellon, which is very large, 321 million and 5 investments. We move down to Citibank, 279 million and 14 investments. We got UBS, 266 million, 5 investments. We move on down to BNP, 236 million, 9 investments. As we move down to Morgan Stanley, 234 million with 3 investments. JP Morgan Chase, 206 million, 8 investments. We have Goldman Sachs, 204 million, 8 investments. MUFG, 185 million, 6 investments. Let's keep on moving down. We have ING, 170 million, 6 investments. BBVA, 167 million, 5 investments. I hope you guys are starting to see what's happening here. We have 146 million, 5 investment. Barclays, 12 million, which is the lowest, 22 investments. And so just by looking at that list of top 13 banks that have invested the most to date, this should tell you that we are in the right place. Do not let this opportunity pass you and your family without getting your share for you and your family. We are living in a time, this is the greatest wealth transfer in history. And if you are in crypto today, This is not by accident. Take this time to educate yourself, bunker down, and find your goals and make sure you can accomplish them, because that's what it's about. I truly believe you can, and I'm definitely going to accomplish mine for me and my family. So I want the same for you. If you're watching this video, definitely take heed to what I'm saying, because if you play this video back in the next 2 to 3 to 5 to 10 years, you're gonna say, man, that guy with the bucket hat was right. I probably am right. And so I'm just telling you, if we follow all of the money, if crypto wasn't the future, why would they be investing all of this money into the crypto space? I don't care if the crypto market loses $1 trillion in the next month, 2, 3 months, and it has an unexpected crash out of nowhere. Come back and look at this video. Think about how much money has been invested directly and indirectly into the crypto space, and it will help you calm down maybe some of your nerves if you're kind of panicking when things crash. Because think about it, we're going to have unexpected dips. It's going to happen. So just be mindful. And when you are mindful of it, it's easier to prepare and deal with it, because you knew eventually it was going to happen. And so just be mindful. Look at this video again if you need to, but I'm telling you, we are in the right space. Don't let this opportunity pass you by without getting your share. I can't say it enough. But if you have stayed to the end of the video, I want to say thanks for watching. It is a new month. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely smash the like button. It really helps out the channel. If you haven't connected with me on my social platforms on Twitter or Instagram, definitely consider connecting with me at Mike the Investor. Also be mindful of these spammers out there. Please be careful. They are everywhere. But that is all I got for you. Remember to stay inspired, stay motivated, always invest in yourself, and I'm out.